Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another channeled message from the Light Keepers, a group of angelic beings I channel for your awakening and ascension journey support. So today I do have a channel from the Light Keepers and we're going to talk about numbers. So stick with me because I have a lot to say about what the numbers mean. So with that today, first of all, I want to thank you guys for enjoying the new videos that Celeste and my colleague and friend are doing on an occasional basis. They're very different from the work that I do with the Light Keepers, but they're channeling still. So we're hitting on a variety of topics, and essentially we just hit on what shows up. So thank you guys for your great comments, and I hope you enjoy them further. So with that, welcome to everybody who's new today. I'm Carolyn Zaiser. I'm a channel, I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, and I offer these channels for your awakening journey support. So thanks for joining me. And below you're going to find a video in the description box that I created for you. It's a gift on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness because it is so important during this awakening journey that I want people to know about this. So check it out and then join me for more free content. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and read the channel like I have in many of my videos in the past, and I'm going to give you 5 things to take away about the numbers that will help you in your journey forward. All right, so I'm going to read the channel first, and then we're going to go from there. At the most surprising times you will find in this journey, the numbers will knock on your door. A first sign, too, that awakening is happening to you. But often it is that one wonders what is to begin when the signs start to seep in. They stand out, but you don't know what to do, sometimes feeling as though something is wrong. But oh no, you are becoming the trueness of you. Now we say, as they enter your way, this is how it begins. Speaking to you, they do. So understand to watch for patterns and signs and not just close your eyes and blindly go about your day. For as you notice these first signs too of the great awakening deep in you, when you put energy there, it is known that you wonder where all of this comes from. More will come your way in time, now that you have made the connection to the divine of your deep inside. And then it will be that you'll see we are listening to you and have been for eternity. So I just loved that because I was like, I want to do a video on the numbers. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, sit down, we have a channel, we want to talk about this too. So this was really going to be a channel with me just talking about the numbers, but nope, the Light Keepers wanted to show up. All right, so I want to talk about the numbers. What do I mean about the numbers? Well, for those of us who have been around doing the awakening for a while, we kind of understand the numbers, but do we really? Okay, and I want to give you my perspective on them because what they've given to me today is to share with you 5 things for us to know about the numbers in our journey. And for those of you who are new to this experience of spiritual awakening, I think you'll get a lot out of this because the numbers are something that is the first sign of the mystical and magicalness of this new journey that you are on. So first of all, what do I mean by the numbers? The numbers are those that appear in a way that you cannot ignore. Like I have said in my attempt to explain this to others who aren't going through awakening, it's as though you're watching a movie, and you know how when you're watching a movie they want to make an emphasis on something and they do it in a really showy way and they zoom in and there's the thing they want you to see? That's what it's like with the numbers. All of a sudden, boom, they're there. It's like not like you consciously went there to find it. They're just there. They make you look and you're like, oh my gosh. Needless to say, the numbers can come in many different ways. And I pretty much get 1111, 111. I get the 2s, 222, big one for me. 444, 555. I get them in triples. 333. I don't know if I said that. But those are the ones that I have gotten throughout my entire journey, but in different ways. I also get 1010. And then I get a few others that I won't go into because I could go on forever. But the point is I get very specific numbers. Now, some of you will start potentially getting numbers that are things like really random, like, I don't know, I'm just going to make something up. 803. You see 803 all the time. Okay, that's going to have special meaning for you, but you're going to figure that out. So I'm going to go through 5 things I want you to know about the numbers. Number 1, first of all, it means you're supported. You are completely supported in whatever way that means for you. I look at this for me personally as support from my angels and my guides. All right. Very much that in my higher self. Because as you know, I'm very focused on the angelic realm and in my support and in my journey. So again, you could speak to it in the sense of the universe, your angels, your guides, your higher self, God, the creator, however you want. But know that it means you're supported. That is key. That is important. And the thing is, it is probably the very first thing or one of the very first things that you're going to notice that is a sign of your impending or starting of your awakening journey. Numbers are often a very first sign that somebody gets, or one of the first signs. And that's the same with me. Once my partner passed away from brain cancer, he was ever apparent to me. I was all hung up about him being around because I knew it. There were signs and messages everywhere, which really would be a variety of videos if I chose to tell you all about that. But then, as I was noticing that my senses were more heightened, things like being able to see colors more clearly, the numbers showed up at the same time, too. I had no idea what I was dealing with there. As many of us do, we then start thinking, what connection does this have to me? What is this? And that's when we start making the personal connection. So that's number 2. It's personal to you. Everybody's numbers are different in the sense of when they come, how they come, the marriage of numbers together that are shown to you. And then we start to wonder, well, what do they really mean for me? So what I did, and this has worked really well for me, is as most of us do, in our head, it's a little hard to just get that information. So I was out online a lot, and I went out and I would look at various websites. I would not look at just one and go, oh, that's the answer. I would only take what resonated with me, the theme primarily, not the specifics so much, the theme. Now, some of these websites, they've repeated each other's information, but I would go to a bunch of different ones. But the point in that is you will start, as you look at multiple websites of information, you're going to get this general idea of what it means, okay, for the rest of the population, or how they're defining, how the people that are writing the blog or that information are defining it. And then the biggest important thing for you then is, what does it mean for you? Because remember, it's never a recipe in anything that we do. All right, everything that you get is information for you to take in and then define on your own for yourself. So what does it mean for you? And importantly, when you get that number, what just happened before that? What is happening right around when you saw that number? What did you just say? So I hearken back very often to understand the numbers by saying, oh my gosh, I just said this. Okay, then the numbers came. I mean, literally on the heels of is how it works for me. And so I'll think back, what did I just say? And then I connect it. And then I often now, 4 years into my journey, I really know what they're trying to tell me. So what I suggest is, if you're new to this, get yourself out on some websites, really start looking, get a sense of things. Don't let it define it fully for you. Understand what it means for you and what those numbers mean. And don't go looking for the numbers. They're just going to show up. I tried to manufacture numbers in my early days because I loved them so much. And I was like making stuff up. I swear I was. I was like, oh, that's when you work hard at something, it's just forced energy. And then your ego makes stuff up. So, this is not about going out and trying to find the numbers. They will find you. So just know that. Okay, so the third thing I want to mention about getting numbers during spiritual awakening is, guess what? It's the first time you're being spoken to that you're consciously aware of, that there's more out there. Your higher self's talking to you, your angels, your guides. And I always consider it my spirit team. I consider the wholeness of this energy to be my spirit team, okay? Whether it's my higher self, my angels, my guides. They're speaking to you, and now you're noticing for the first time. So for folks who say to me, I don't have any intuitive gifts, I don't think I'm being spoken to by my angels and guides, I'd like to hear them better, or I'm not hearing them at all. And I ask them, are you getting the numbers? Yeah. And I'm like, well, hello. Those are so exciting, but we tend to discount them after we start getting them so much for a while. No. That is a first sign you have a connection. You have a connection, and now you are communicating. And when you start adding energy to that and you start recognizing that, guess what? More signs and messages will come. But what you don't want to do is go looking for them. That is key. Don't put heavy energy into, okay, what's my next sign and message? I got to go find it. Nope, let it be. Just know you're being communicated with. And it's a great opportunity for you to start connecting in with your spirit team in a different way. In the morning, in night, throughout the day. Talk to them in your thoughts out loud. You know that whole journey that I've talked about. I have that in other videos too. However, it's about making that connection with your spirit team and then providing that energy, because what they're saying with those numbers is, hey, we're giving you some help here, but we also want to connect with you. We want to form a relationship. All right, and now my cat's probably going to show up, and I'll just keep him in the video if he does. Anyway, okay, so, all right, here he comes. Let's just do this because he's kind of part of this whole thing I'm doing. Okay, say hi, Hiroshi, and then we're going to get on to why we are really here today in this video. Okay, he may bother us for some time, but okay, so anyway, understand that this is a gift. This is the first time you are being communicated with, and now you want to take it to the bank, okay? But don't work hard at it. Just let it be, let it flow. But do start building that connection. Start having that conversation with them. In the morning when you get up, say good morning to your spirit team. And then, ask them for things throughout the day. Don't go looking for it. Don't go looking for the answers, but just make that connection of high vibration, because when you start doing that, you're going to be amazed at what happens down the road. So that's your higher self, your spirit team starting to talk to you. So here's another thing about the numbers that I find to be really profound is, and the longer you go during the awakening journey, the more you're going to know this, is there will be changes in numbers. So I have quite a bit to say about this. So first of all, in my early awakening journey, I was bombarded with amazing signs and messages. And I had, my partner had passed away, which created my dark night of the soul, and he was ever present. All these crazy things were happening. And so the numbers were there, but I was distracted with a lot of other things too. All right. Well, what I realized is as the other signs and messages dropped off, because they'll shift and change. He started moving into a different plane of existence, and fewer of those kinds of signs, a little more complicated. Needless to say, the numbers still stayed. So those are typically more consistent than other signs and messages that you'll get. Because I go back to, they're there to have you understand that you were supported in this journey, that you are supported in this journey. So what will happen is oftentimes your numbers will change based on the vibration you're bringing into your day or the situation you're in. Or, and let me use an example. So lately, I have kind of gotten a little knotted up in my head, and I can get very tight in my head thinking, and you really start to know when this happens when you have let yourself meditate for so long and then not, always be in the flow, and then all of a sudden you're not, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in my head so much. Guess what? I don't get the numbers. I went for 3 days about a week or so ago. I didn't get any numbers. Not that I'm looking for them, but I know that every day I typically get numbers. But I didn't have any for 3 days, and I was so knotted up in thinking, overthinking. And I was very, I guess I'll say human, very wrapped up in doing, forcing, because that doesn't end. I mean, these things still pop back in. As advanced as we want to be and think we are, we still have these times pop in. So I had that for like 3 days. I got no numbers, and I realized, oh my gosh, that in itself is a sign, because I wasn't at their vibration. I was not at that vibration. Because again, remember, it's all about energy. What are you putting out there that they're able to connect to? And I'm not connecting to any of the numbers. So that was a sign and message too. And I quickly got myself meditating again, because I've been forgetting to meditate, go figure. All of those things can make your numbers go away. And then when you have that happen, if you have that happen, take some time and go, oh, wait a minute, what have I been doing? What have I been doing? What's the difference here? What am I wrapped up in? Okay. So that's a real good way to kind of take a look at what's going on in your journey too. And then, well, I guess I talked about events, but mood creates vibration. Watch for patterns that come your way. They will also, as I said, the change in the numbers. You might be used to just getting kind of random numbers, like I said, what I get typically. But if you start to get a run of like, I don't know, I'm going to just say 11 11s or 3 through 3s, and it's just a run of those. You're getting it all the time and you're not getting the other numbers. you can start thinking about what does that mean? Because there's a message in that, okay? And that's sometimes when I'll go back out and reread and go, oh, yeah, that's right. There's a little more to this. And then maybe something will resonate. But I also try to go inside myself and say, what does that mean based on what I already know, okay? So you get a run of numbers and then others won't show up. And then this was really fascinating. The numbers you don't get, when those pop in, holy moly, all of a sudden you say, what does that mean? So I'm going to give you an example. I had gone on this short little past life journey, seriously, traveled over to a town about a state away where I knew I had had a past life. It was a very magical experience while I was there, but that really wasn't the point. But I was also very depressed by it, which is real interesting. I was depressed by what is no longer. It was a Native American life, so I was depressed by that because I was really feeling the beauty of what was and what is no longer. So I got hung up in the what is no longer driving back home, which was about a 5-hour drive. So I had plenty of time on this interstate that was completely boring to be able to ponder my sadness and just really get into grief. Oh my gosh. Suddenly, I am not kidding you, I saw 666 on a road sign, and then like literally a mile or two later, and usually these will they'll often come pretty quickly if they want you to really know something. I saw it again on it was a mile marker, and so I saw 666, and again, not the devil sign, sorry. Go check it out because you will not believe what I did. I got 3 in a row on the travel back home because I was okay. Remember, I was in low vibe state, so I thought I'm not going to do this on the phone here in the car. I pulled over in a gas station. I pull it up, and it has to do, and again, it's not in front of me right now, but 666 had to do with like get out of the low vibration thoughts, the negativity, the blah, 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 the down in the depths. And I'm like, I've never had this before. And I had taken a beautiful experience and I had shoved it down to the depths and made myself miserable into such a low vibe situation. And this was a trip that was full of magic, but not what I was doing to it. So they gave me 666. So you'll find it really interesting when those numbers come up that you are not familiar with. There is a message in there. So check it out. Okay. And then again, as I always say, determine what it means for yourself. Okay. So remember, change in the numbers will happen. And then spend some time with it. See what it means. Now, what's happened with me right now is I have a run of certain numbers that I mentioned I have. And I pretty much know now those are the primary signs and messages I get. My big signs and messages that I would see in my face or that would show up in my house or outside as I was doing my work, they have pretty much drifted off, not fully, but much more than they have. And now I get the numbers primarily. My other signs and messages have become what I will say much more complex. And that's a journey in and of itself. As you go through your awakening journey, your signs and messages will become more complex. But the point is, in mentioning this, is the numbers often will stay constant. And if they don't, you kind of know maybe you're in a different vibe, right? But the point is, the reason this is happening is our spirit team wants us to know we are not alone. Because think about this. If you're in my situation now where pretty much it's the numbers that you're getting as your signs and messages, oh my gosh, when 1111 shows up or 333, you are overjoyed. It's like Santa Claus came. And I just kind of get all tickled and I go, thank you, Spirit Team. Oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. You've made my day. And I mean, literally, it makes my day. And then it happens again and it makes my day again. So when you're kind of feeling like nobody's supporting you and you're in a low vibe, pull yourself out of it. And lots of times, sometimes you'll get a number here and there and they'll help you pull out of that vibration. So those are 5 things that you should know about the numbers and that I have noticed on my awakening journey. And they really are the most supportive thing that we get. And just remember, they are magic. If you feel like you don't have any intuitive gifts at all, what are you talking about? You're getting the numbers. That didn't happen before your awakening journey. So embrace it, enjoy it, and thank them. Thank your help in spirit. Whether you believe it, your higher self, your spirit team, all of that energy out there that's assisting you forward in your awakening journey. So with that today, that's the message, and I hope you've enjoyed it and take something away. And I always want to mention to you my services. And before you leave, I want to remind you of the new service I have, Channeling, with my friend and colleague Celeste Ryan, where we record for you an hour-long take on your soul journey. And this is a new service we are offering. It is incredibly powerful, and people are really kind of lining up, which is amazing. You know, when you put out a new service, like, oh my gosh. So it's really been exciting. You get a video and you get to contribute, and we just talk. So if you take a look at our videos that we have on working together on our channels, that's similar to how it works. But we take your questions and your situations and we combine it in together to create a book instead of a chapter of what you might get with each of us individually. And check out my services, purplerainhealing.com, where I channel. I also offer distance energy healing, and I offer spiritual awakening mentoring to guide you through your awakening journey. I would so love to work with you, as I have been working with many of you. So touch base with me if you're interested. And again, thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and I will see you in the next video.